Alfredo asks, what do you think about the division backend and frontend in a WordPress agency? Oh, this is interesting. I used to work for an employer where the division between front-end developers and back-end developers was kind of extreme. The back-end stack was so complex and specific to the company that it was very hard for front-end developers to get going with it, and vice versa. Actually, it was just the front-end stack was also very elaborate, so back-end developers didn't have much chance to work in that stack. And the reason it was extreme is that having this division of labor in front-end and back-end, it will breed specialization. Because if you're specialized on back-end or you're specialized on front-end, you have quite a bit of time to do more elaborate things. For example, if you're a full-stack developer, your attention is spread across more things, and your cognitive load for each thing needs to be lower. A full-stack developer is going to have a less elaborate tool chain across the board than if there is a specialized front-end developer and a specialized back-end developer. You could argue that it's a good thing that these complexities, they also add value, but it should also be noted that it makes it very hard for a person to work in either of these stacks. It makes a flow of people very fixed, and they kind of become these silos. You have to, in order to build something, you per definition need at least a front-end and a back-end developer. Perhaps I mostly think it's a mistake to do that division, like that specific division, front-end, back-end. Perhaps it should instead be application and infrastructure. Because when you're building an app, you almost always have to touch both the front end and the back end. And so you have to involve multiple people, even though it's a very small feature, and that adds a lot of friction. So it would be interesting to me to see like an architecture where you have like these more generic, complicated services that are maintained by the infrastructure team, which are basically the backenders, I guess. And then there are like these more lightweight and aggregation services, backend services that interact with these services. They are still backend services. And there is the front-end application. And the people that work in the application domain, they work on both these things, the simple backend services and stuff. And the infrastructure team, that is the more traditional backend developers domain. And the idea of that architecture in my mind would be that the people that are working in the app domain would not have to get the help of the infrastructure team every single time they make a change.